which it does with almost any bevel setting stone, we're going to remove that. And I've developed a technique for using your razor, which is really hard steel. And I'm beginning by setting the bevel with a Shapton 2000 grit stone. This is aggressive enough where it really does hone your razor quite nicely. So I'm just going to continue setting this bevel. We'll go back up the microscope, take one more look at it. Okay. I have a switch on my microscope that allows me to view it through the binocular eyepiece, or to switch it over to my computer screen like this. So this is where I'm at right now on the bevel set, and it's pretty much like it was before. It's a little bit more, I think the false edge has developed just a little bit more since I just had it before, but we'll take care of that. So now the next step I'm going to create is, and this looks a little scary to some people, but basically it's a jointing stroke, and it removes or flattens the false edge. And that's about it. Just a little pressure and a couple strokes and maybe a little rocky motion because you have a little bit of a recessed heel. Not a real smile, but it's just a little bit of a weak heel. So we'll set the Shapton aside, and here is your stone. And I have two tomonaguras. One's sort of a light-colored Tomoe Sagi, and then a darker Tomoe stone. So we're going to use the lighter colored stone first. This will easily kick up a slurry, and most of the slurry is made from the tomonagura. Now when you pull a tomonagura off with stone, you should slide off. Don't try to lift it straight up because it can separate on the stratification lines, the layers of the stone. So better to slide it off the stone. Set that aside. Okay, we're going to do just a minimum number of strokes here because I want to preserve the geometry, and I don't want to start to create another false edge. That's the one thing we want to stay away from, is creating another false edge. So these stones are all fast enough so that we can do the majority of the honing in the minimum number of strokes, and then we'll go back to the strop, over to the strop, and finally we'll end in clear water. Okay, so that was maybe about 15 strokes on each side. Okay, you remember what the edge looked like before we jointed it, and the false edge. And then after the jointing, there was still the heavy scratch pattern from the 2000 grit. Now, with about 15 strokes, here's what we're hitting. This is what we're seeing now. We have a grit pattern that's based on the Japanese natural slurry right along there. You can see what's left of a few diagonal strokes from the 2000 grit king, but they're pretty much gone. And that false edge is all gone now too. So we've refined the edge quite a bit. Okay, my next step is to go over to a strop. You can use any leather strop. This happens to be an old shell horsehide. This strop says it costs, the price is $3.50. So this strop is probably from the 30s or the 40s. Now just do